But good morning, Image Church. My name is Thomas Barnett. If you don't know who I am, I'm the honor and privilege of serving as the student pastor here at Image. And I get a chance to tell you about what a little bit we've done and impact this past year. And I have three different areas I'm going to cover. And the first one I want to go over is that what we've learned this year. Because as a parent, I'm sure you're very interested in what in the world I'm teaching them. So we're going to make sure that you understand it is biblical, I promise. Even though if they come home and tell you crazy things happened, that's all true. But we had a lot of fun doing it. You get to see some of the pictures that you're going to hear from up there. But we've covered everything from the whole story, what the Bible's all about, why we even have the Bible, who is God, and who is he in our lives, and what does that look like. We covered Bible 101. Where did it come from? Why do we have a Bible? What do we use it for? We started and went from the beginning and talked about Genesis and how the beginning of the story is just as important as the end of the story and the middle of the story. And currently, we've been going through Romans. Now, you also may have heard this past year, we did an entire lesson, as you see in the corner there, about waffles. And that was a lot of fun. We got to eat some good waffles. We made them while we were talking about it. And we got to see what it meant to be transformed from the different ingredients and coming together and seeing how when you are put under the pressure and it's changed and how God changes us as he puts us through different things in life. We also had a thing about National Trail Mix Day, and we got to eat some good trail mix. So you get good snacks, too. The other things that we went through is understanding life lessons, hands-on things. You might see there, I think it's up there. Yeah, we had our Connect building competition. We do have some fun acting skills, as you see Rachel there being, I can't remember who we were talking about that night. Was it, help me out here, Rachel. Jacob, thank you. She was Jacob and having to feel out and see if that was really his son. So she did a great job with her mustache. I appreciated the extra effort there. So it's a fun getting to act those out and seeing what they come up with. Ultimately, we understand, though, at the end of the day, it's all about Jesus and who he is in our life. And then after we've learned a lot of things together, we actually went through life together. You can see that we are a very competitive group. I do have to say, I am proud to say, after 5 years of being with this group, I finally this year, for the first time ever, won a game of, apologize for the name, Kill. And that is impressive for me. I beat two of our most deadly people in the game of Kill. If you want to learn more about that, you have to come participate. It's a lot of fun. We have crazy games like Musical Chairs of Doom, Wild West shootouts, all kinds of fun things that you would think this is really dangerous for teenagers. But it's a lot of fun, and we get to see each other competitively. We played the Duck, Duck, Whack, which is a lot of fun with pool noodles that you saw there. And then I got to go to quite a few graduations. You see pictures from our yard sale, our first ever annual banquet. I didn't get a lot of pictures from the other one, but I got to go to one of my favorite things and seeing our students in musicals and plays this year and getting to shout them out from the auditorium seats as they go and perform and use their talents for God in their schools. And the one thing I want to say, as you see this, and the one thing that, if you don't hear anything else, the main thing I want you to see out of this is that the key thing with teenagers isn't what you teach them on a Sunday night. It isn't what game you play with them, but it's all about the relationships that you have with them. And I have to give a special shout out here to our adult leaders. They do a fantastic job about showing up every week and making sure that they know that throughout life we are right there with them and that we are going to be there in all of their fun, all of their good, their bad, their ugly. We hear about all the fun drama at school. Sometimes we get a little too invested. I'll admit there. But it is one thing that we want to make sure that they know that they have people in their lives that they can come to and hear not only what they can do in their lives, but a Jesus-centered point of view of what they can do in their lives. And it brings to the last part. We grew together. This year we did a lot of new things. You saw in the one picture there, we went to our first ever youth conference. And I have to say, we had an awesome thing happen there. We had one of our own teenagers accept Jesus and get saved in that youth conference. And on top of that, I would be remiss if I didn't say this out loud, but there were 75 students in that conference who said yes to Jesus. 75 teenagers in our area who are now out in their communities being beacons of light for Jesus in a world that desperately needs it. There were 45 baptisms at that event as well. So they not only did they say yes to Jesus, but they proclaimed it publicly for everyone to see and know. Later in the year, we also had another family night, which I know our parents, I don't know if you like that or not. Don't tell me if you don't, because I always think you do, so you seem like you enjoy it. But that night, we also had another student give their heart to Jesus. So we've had 2 salvations this year, and you may think, 2? Why are you celebrating that? Because that's 2 lives that I know will for eternity be in heaven. And they've accepted Jesus as their Lord and Savior, and they are walking the walk, talking the talk, and being a light and beacon to their communities. And as you see here, there are students who are taking challenges that they've learned, and we're growing together. This year alone, I've heard stories of kids stepping up and praying for their friends. And I've heard them talk about inviting their friends to church. We've had 15 new faces show up to Impact this year alone. Many of them repeat offenders. They keep coming back. And that is awesome. You may think, well, if they don't stay around, is it really the point? No, because the seed was planted. Their friends are telling them about Jesus. We're growing together. And then they're also talking about, I've heard the stories of, my friend doesn't have a Bible, so I worked with my mom and we got him a Bible. That's cool. That's something you should be proud of in your church. What you're investing in here with your time, your talents, and your treasure, especially your treasure. When you're doing that, you're investing in the next generation of Image Church. You're investing in the next generation of Jesus followers who are going to take up this mantle that we are currently holding as the adults in the room. But they're looking at you, they're watching you, and they're saying, I want to be able to be the next one to come up and say, I'm going to take that place and I'm going to keep the mission of Jesus Christ going. Our students are passionate, they have a lot of fun, and they have a lot of energy. And they can take that out and be able to be the light of Jesus in our communities. So I have to give you guys a shout out. Students, I love you. It is an honor and privilege. I told myself I wasn't going to get choked up, so I'm not going to do it. I love being able to be with you every week, and I hope you keep coming back. But let's get back into worship. Let's stand up together.